There are so many other temples and organizations for various other activities. So this talk is organized by the Singapore Buddhist Mission, and I appeal to all of you to give your full support if you like to see the progress of Buddhism in this country. We are grateful to Singapore government for providing facilities to teach all the existing religions in this country. So we should not neglect, overlook this golden opportunity to introduce a religious way of life. Although we use the word Buddhism, our main idea is religion. Religion is more important than Buddhism. If people are religious, they are honest, kind, understanding, reliable person. Useful people to the society, never endanger the peace and happiness of innocent people. These are the qualities of a religious man. We like to see a religious life of this nature. Not those religious fanatics who try to ridicule, criticize, condemn by creating all sorts of accusations to convert people by giving different religious labels. That is not important. Buddhist societies and temples are not organizing any schemes to convert the followers of other religions into that particular religion. Let them have their own religious label, whether they are Buddhists, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, makes no difference to us if they are religious people. So tonight, our subject is peace and happiness through Buddhism. If not, we can use the word peace and happiness through religion. Now, why it is necessary for us to discuss this subject? There must be something wrong somewhere. It seems each and every human being on this earth today crying for peace, searching for happiness, but they cannot find out. They do everything to find out peace and happiness, but never give. The secret is hidden somewhere else. People believe that they can gain peace and happiness from heaven and free. And some others try to gain peace and happiness through magic, mystical power, and mantras, various other practices. Some others try to gain peace and happiness by working day and night like slaves to earn more and more, to enjoy their life, to overcome their problems and worries and difficulties. They too cannot find out peace and happiness. Some people believe that they can gain peace and happiness through science and technology. So it seems science has become a monster discovered by the man. Now he does not know how to get rid of this monster. They have discovered various scientific methods, thinking that they can serve the mankind through these discoveries. But today, they are using this technique for the destruction of the whole world. Man's life is in danger. Everybody is shivering with fear and tension and suspicion because of this wonderful scientific discovery. People have neglected ancient wisdom revealed to us by enlightened religious teachers. We regard them or their teachings or advisors as old-fashioned, out of date. Then we went on searching new methods, new techniques to maintain peace and happiness. But still, we could not discover. Man's life is entirely changed. Human dignity, human quality, we cannot find in the man's mind. Man has become a crazy creature towards his own senses. Animals live a normal, natural life. Human beings have abused, overtaxed their senses to indulge, to enjoy their life, thinking that they can experience more happiness. But in the end, they get more disappointments, frustration, and unhappiness. The main reason is the advices given by a religious teacher like the Buddha, Santutti Paramang Sukham. Contentment is the highest happiness. It's not highest wealth. It's not that crazy attitude toward the indulgence, but contentment. That is why Buddhism is known as middle path. For everything there is a limit. The Buddha says, when you come to practice religion, to lead a religious life, not necessary for you to become a slave to that religion. You can practice that religion as a gentleman, not like a slave. You can lead a normal life. You can experience happiness. You can experience worldly pleasure. But there is a limit. Certain conditions. Without violating the basic religious principles, without disturbing innocent people. So we should not try to gain our pleasure at the cost of others' life. But we are doing it. So how can we maintain peace and happiness? How can others maintain peace and happiness if human beings are behaving like this? I hope that you have learned the meaning of human being. Human being is the word derived from manusya, Sanskrit word. Manusya means a living being who got a mind to think and to develop this mind. This is the difference between human beings and animals. Animals do have mind, but potential, facilities, opportunities are not very favorable for them to develop this mind, to use their sense of reasoning and understanding. But we have all the good qualities. But unfortunately, certain selfish ideas, superstitious ideas, ignorance, active, overshadow the normal human mind. We have neglected our humane qualities, forget about religion. Later we can come to a religion. Before we come to religion, we must develop humanism. Are we living as real human beings on this earth? Before we talk about philosophy and psychology and metaphysical subjects and hair-splitting all sorts of religious issues, before we talk about heaven and hell and ghosts and spirits, first we must know how to live as human beings on this earth. We have duties to fulfill, our responsibility, obligation. By neglecting all these duties can we practice a religion? Please remember, the main purpose of religion is not only for praying and worshiping. That is only a lazy man's job. Anyone can pray, anyone can worship, there is no difficulty. But do not know how to live as human beings. That is difficult. Churches, temples, mosques, and various other places fully crowded, worshippers. Oh, they say, gee, our religions are progressing, developing. More and more devotees, more and more followers come and pray and worship. Observe and study. Their mentality, their purpose, why do they want to pray? Why do they want to worship? To satisfy their selfishness. No idea of doing some service to others. No idea of cultivating, developing humane qualities and virtues and knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Can we regard those people as religious people? The Buddha did not introduce that type of religion. But for our own benefit, to get some sort of consolation, satisfaction, we respect, we worship. But it is not compulsory. If we can maintain our human dignity, practice humane qualities, we, according to the Buddha, we follow religious people. Then, before all these religions come into existence, we human beings had two main governing factors to maintain human dignity. Shame and fear. Today, my dear friends, we have so many religions, so many scientific subjects, worldly subjects. Man can understand everything under the sun and the moon, not only that, beyond that moon. But no shame, no fear in the man's mind. That is why we cannot see, we cannot experience peace and happiness. Sometimes we can see animals also have some sort of fear and shame. So we are so advanced today, gone beyond that. Shame and fear disappear. Neglected our duty, running after mirage to find out peace and happiness. Every day we go and worship and pray, asking peace, asking happiness. And who are those people who go and worship and pray and ask peace? Most of them are the troublemakers who violate peace and happiness. Those culprits go and pray. After violating all these existing principles, go and pray, we forgive. We like to have peace and happiness. The Buddha stating is this. Each and every person is individually responsible for everything in this world, good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant. To him, there is no God, there is no devil behind this. Man is responsible. He violates everything. If man can live as a real man, there is no difficulty for each and every person to live peacefully. But man is not ready to do that. We have all sorts of justification to show there is nothing wrong. That is another mistake. In fact, man has violated everything on this earth. Not only on this earth, above. Man is violating, disturbing each and every living being on this earth. Destroyed. For his own pleasure. Thinking man is the only one who got right to live on this earth, to enjoy their life. Destroyed. The man's behavior, man's appearance on this earth has become a curse to all the other living beings on this earth. If one day those poor living beings would manage to get a brain to understand who this man is, I am sure all of them get together, completely wipe out the whole mankind from this earth. Now this is the nature of man living on this earth. Man is destroying nature, destroying plant life, destroying hills and rocks, polluting rivers and water, air, for his own pleasure. The bad effects we experience in time to come. We won't be able to live on this earth without using oxygen tanks. We cannot breathe because we have polluted air. This is called modern development. We do not know we are digging our own grave. We cannot wait until we die for others to dig. We are digging our own grave, thinking we are progressing and developing. We are declining very badly. Physically, mentally, morally, ethically, spiritually. man's way of thinking is very, very poisonous, very dangerous. Those days, man had a fear, or the man is scared of other living beings, wild animals and devils and ghosts. Today, man is not scared of it. He learns so many things and believes in ghosts and spirits and devils, mostly mythology, only a belief. And to protect themselves from animals also, they have discovered many things. But today, man is scared of man, not animals. One man cannot trust another man. What a wonderful development. We boast about our religion, our culture, our tradition, but no reliable. All are gentlemen. When you address ladies and gentlemen. But it is a very difficult for us to find out a gentle man. This is the nature. So, we do not know what would be the fate of the future. Do you know? According to my knowledge, there are 5,000 million human beings on this earth today. The fate of these 5,000 million human beings is in one man's hand. And that fate also he has locked in a small black box. And when that man goes to bathrooms and toilets, also, one of his officials stand by, holding this black box for emergency case. When he pressed the button, computerized button, within half an hour, the whole world, earth, turned into ashes. Do you know where that man is? In hell, the king of the hell. That man is in America. President of America. This is the development of the mankind. This is the fate of the mankind today. Each and every human being suffering because of it. Do you know what they have discovered, developed so far as nuclear weapons? If we can collect all together and blast at once, the vibration and the heat waves reach up to the sun and the moon and the stars and galaxies. Destroy them also, again can come back. These scientists have explained all. This is called development. Why man is so crazy? Can you find out? any country in this world today where human beings exist, where we can experience peace and happiness. Everywhere, killing, destroying, burning, cutting. They too talk about religion. They have dragged poor religion also into the battle and use the name of that religion. We are fighting for this religion. Is that the purpose of a religion? And some others try to introduce one religion. They say if you want to live peacefully, we must have one religion. Never happened on this earth as long as human beings exist. And they have no evidence to prove. There are certain countries, more than 99% the followers of one religion, they too cut each other's throat. Then how can they say one religion can introduce peace and happiness? So no hope. Now you can understand. We cannot depend on science for peace and happiness. So it seems we cannot depend on religions also. Because whatever man handles, there is some sort of selfishness, crookedness. Whether it is religion, politics, education, culture, in everything you can see selfishness and crookedness. So we cannot expect very much from religion also. The way how they practice, the way how they try to introduce, how they fight in the name of religion, how they develop jealousy, hatred, when they want to talk about religion. Why? There is some sort of selfishness. Otherwise they never struggle to introduce religion, to convert people. Never allow innocent people to practice their own religion. Disturb peace and happiness. Then what are we going to do? Think for a while. My personal belief, experience, when you observe unbiasedly the way how people preach and talk and practice and introduce religion, you cannot expect peace and happiness through religion also. You violate. That is why in many parts of the world people say, do away with religion. Religion is nuisance. Religions cannot contribute anything for the betterment and welfare and happiness of mankind. One scholar has said, if religionists cannot put down their arms in their battlefield, how can we ask militaries to put down their arms? So religion also is in the battlefield. Anyway, still it is not too late. Without depending on too much, or without becoming slaves to any religion, without becoming fanatics, use your common sense. You have that. You have human intelligence. You can use that. But many of common sense and intelligence and sense of reasoning. Because they have their ready-made religious concepts. They hand over to you. These are the religious concepts. And believe. Your duty is to accept. That is not the way to accept a religion. You have to accept a religion according to your own conviction, according to your understanding. If you accept a religion through your faith, without analyzing, without understanding, without investigating, later you become religious fanatics or create some sort of frustration in your mind. Always maintain open mind. There must be some vacuum in your mind to accommodate new ideas, new concepts. When you use your analytical knowledge, there must be a vacuum for you to maintain the truth and the facts and the reality. So the way people introduce religion is also wrong. When we develop our selfishness, we develop jealousy. When we develop our jealousy, we develop hatred, ill will, and grudge. After that, we fight, we kill, and destroy others. Then develop enmity for generations, life after life. See, only one evil force which appeared in the mind as selfishness has created so many other things, just like waves, one after the other. The Buddha has mentioned this earlier. The main cause of all our problems here in this world is nothing but our own craving. That is selfish. People could not understand how this craving can create problems. Here, just now I have seen. Those who believe that these disturbances, problems, suffering, sicknesses are created by somebody, either by God or devil, cannot understand where the mistake is. There are two kinds of craving that we develop. Craving for our existence. We are willing to violate the whole world. So deeply rooted in the mind. We never use kindness, compassion, understanding at that time. Craving for pleasure by robbing, kidnapping, disturbing, swindling, violating everything in this world. We try to gain something, earn more and more to enjoy life. Going on accumulating to enjoy must learn how to maintain contentment. Then you can avoid so many disturbances to maintain your own peace and happiness, and you also allow others to live peacefully. If you can observe these advice, that is the highest contribution that you can do to maintain peace and happiness of others. If you do not go and disturb others, never steal and bluff and cheat. If you are not cunning or crooked or wicked, you allow others to live peacefully. That is called religious life. But we don't want to do that. Why do we want to develop these things? Modern life, modern society created so many things in this world to create temptation in the man. So man cannot tolerate. But when we were in the primitive state, when we were in the jungle, we had a little bit of craving. Craving for our food, sex, and shelter. Just only these things. Clothing also not very important. Of course, we are going back to that way of life. Again, in the modern society. Clothing also not very important. So, we went on developing and developing and developing these cravings. Today, there are thousands and one or more than fascinating, attractive, beautiful, colorful, wonderful things to increase more and more craving and craving and craving and craving. Then they need more income to indulge, to experience modern technique. Then where is the content? There you can find where the mistake is. So, the whole world is a battlefield today because of this craving. In fact, the whole world is a time bomb. Explosion can take place at any moment. Uncertainty of our life is there. Who has done it? By the man. Who planted that time bomb? Man, not by a devil. Religious way of life is important here to diffuse that time bomb, to avoid that explosion, to adjust our way of life. Otherwise, the one day explosion takes place. Natural disaster, according to our religion, not only our religion, some other religions also. So, when the man's mind is polluted, the mental vibration, hatred, anger, jealousy, grudge, and craving, enmity, radiating from each and every person's mind, circulates the whole universe. Then, natural disaster, fire, flood, volcanic eruption, earthquake, storm, then millions and billions of human beings also and become the victim. When we refer to the Buddha word, Chittena niyati loko, the world is led by the mind, by the mental energy. Then people ask, how come? Because we cannot understand. By using our mental energy, we pollute the whole world. By developing our mental energy, by maintaining purity in our mental energy, by radiating more and more kindness, compassion, understanding, and various other kind of virtues, mind is responsible. In Buddhist philosophy it is mentioned, the whole world is nothing but Vijñapti Matra, concepts. When we analyze, in the end, we can see only concepts. Now let us refer to scientific discovery. Albert Einstein says, when we analyze this world, going on analyzing all the existing elements and energies, in the end, we can see only either rays or vibration. No elements, no word. Now see the way how Buddha has explained earlier, that the mental energy is responsible for all these things. Here we can understand what would be the situation when we polish this mental energy. We never think in that. Always depend on God, depend on devil. That's all. Never think that both God and devil both are here. If you use your common sense and human intelligence, you can maintain everything. We have developed our selfishness too much. We are not ready to share anything with others. I won't tell you, or my family, or my wife, with my wife or with my children, that's all. That is why people say charity begins at home. My sister, you have charity at home. It is not charity, your duty, your obligation, your responsibility. You have a charity there. You must understand. The noble way of living is take in, give in. You must take, you must give. Give and take policy must be there. You want to take in, but nothing comes out. That is called taking. It is like this. Breathing in, you stop. Right? Breathe in, expect and see what will happen to you. So you have to do it out. So give and take policy for our living is just like breathe in and breathing out. Otherwise, no peace. Our minds have become so cruel, selfish, people have organized some sort of game for them to relax, to have some sort of pleasure. Today, in well-organized game, you can see riots and murder. Why? The nature of the human mind, you can understand. In the game also, there is killing, otherwise no killing. It is so common. When you go to Vietnam, you can see 10 years old small boys are holding machine guns, learning how to use machine guns. So what is the fate of human beings? Innocent ladies who are born to this world to hold, to feed, to look after small babies with tender hands. Today in the battlefield with machine guns, I really cannot understand a woman with feminine qualities. How can they develop that cruelty in their mind to kill others by using machine guns? So we have completely polluted everything. What is the cause? The main cause is greed. People say Buddhism is a pessimistic religion, always talk about ill of all these things. It is not pessimistic, my dear friend. It is the truth. But we don't want to know the truth. We want something else which can satisfy our craving, to console our craving, but not to understand the truth or facts in our life. What a pity. When you read the human charter recorded by the UNESCO, United Nations, on human rights, it is written, man's mind creates war. The same man's mind can bring about peace. Think for a while. Who creates a war? Whether God or devil? United Nations says man's mind. Then what is the cause? Faith. They are repeating the same thing what the Buddha had said 2,500 years ago. When you read Dhamma and Sangha, the first stanza, Mano Ubbangama Dhamma. You got the book? When you go home, please read. Mind is the forerunner. Mind is responsible for good and bad, everything here in this world. So they are repeating the same thing what the Buddha had said earlier. So if you want to maintain peace and happiness, you must know how to maintain, how to control, how to train, how to tame your mind. If you cannot do that, there is no peace, there is no happiness. Then you can see, how can we maintain peace and happiness although we are good? We never harm others, but others always come and disturb us. Therefore, there is no meaning at all by becoming good or by doing good. I can give you an example for that. You are very good drivers. When you drive your motor car, you drive very, very carefully to avoid accident, not to hurt another person. Very good. So when you drive your motor car very carefully, reckless drivers come behind or front and back and knock and disturb and damage. Or you may kill. They may kill you. If not, after your injury, you think, well, in future, I am also going to die like that. What is the big idea of taking precautions? This is the nature of worldly condition. So we should not try to follow others, although they are there. If we can understand the nature of good and bad, our duty is to be good, to do good, as much as possible we can. Again, there is a beautiful advice given by the Buddha. How to maintain peace and happiness in spite of various disturbances. Your complaint is, you cannot concentrate, you cannot meditate, you cannot maintain peace in your mind, others come and disturb. The Buddha says, you cannot stop all these disturbances. When the sun is very hot, when you want to go out, you cannot stop this heat. But you can use something, some sort of shelter, either umbrella or something else. Then you can reduce that heat in the same manner. When there are disturbances, you must know how to adjust your own mind. The advice is like this. He says, when you see something, whether it is very ugly and horrible looking one or very pleasant, attractive, don't close your eyes. It is hypocrisy. Don't look at it properly, he says. Look, see what it is. If possible, try to use your penetrative knowledge also to understand in proper perspective. Having seen, stop that object there, don't bring it here to accommodate. You hear something, somebody is scolding you, using all sorts of dirty, wicked, ugly words, abusive language. Another person comes and use all sorts of sugar-coated words to create some sort of happiness in your mind to gain something from you. Praising, appreciating. He says you must listen to both. After listening, stop all these sound vibrations. Don't bring them into your mind. All the five senses you can use in that way. Then you can maintain peace and happiness in your mind. Others cannot disturb you. We always complain. Other people come and disturb our mind. Others cannot disturb us. It is impossible. Others can create some sort of disturbances or sounds or wishes in front of us. If we know how to guard our mind, they cannot disturb our mind. So first we must learn how to guard our mind. We disturb our own mind. By developing our craving, we invite all nice things. By developing our jealousy and hatred, we invite all the bad things. Then who does this? Our own mind. If you know how to maintain that, others cannot distract. But we don't want to listen to this kind of advice. Then how can we maintain peace? Five senses, or the duty of five senses, is to bring all these objects. But the senses cannot bring. These are the channels used by the mind. Senses cannot bring anything. If the mind is not working through the senses, these five senses cannot do anything. So very easily we can switch off all the five senses. And that is the time that poor mind gets a chance to relax. Otherwise, throughout our life, what are we doing? Accept and reject. Accept and reject. Every minute, every second we are doing. Poor mind had no chance to relax. Even while you are sleeping also you do the same. Whatever you have accumulated in your mind, the daytime, in your subconscious mind, at night time all these things project. Then you experience wonderful videos or television shows. Some people shout, some people laugh, some people get up and run. Mind creates all this. Then next day you go to a temple and tell a monk or somebody, last night I had a very bad dream, can you please tell me what it is? This is our nature. Another thing, we have discovered so many gadgets to entertain, to experience peace and happiness. Let us take television. I understand now Singapore people enjoy 6 channels. Very lucky people. Mind also got 6 channels. These 5 and mental objects, 6 channels. So, when you look at very carefully the nature of certain programs, really damage the human mind, especially young children. All sorts of crimes, violence, immoral scenes, almost every day they can see from their childhood. Then, having seen all these things, children start to think, oh, the whole world is like this. Fighting, shooting, killing, robbing, bluffing, cheating. The whole world is like this. Then they also go. Because they are going through cultivating, developing all these ideas. They cannot understand the danger of this kind of television program. How can we control the mankind? And again, what do they gain through these programs? As happiness. It is not happiness. It is excitement. Those incidents create excitement in the heart or the mind. This excitement creates a lot of damages to our brain cells, our glands, our blood circulation. We don't understand. Can you regard them as pleasure or happiness? So where is the time to relax? And what are the things we take into our mind almost every day? nothing for our moral development, nothing for our spiritual development, nothing for us to maintain discipline, nothing for us to train our mind to relax. So we have become more worldly minded people by neglecting all the valuable advices given by those who had wonderful experience about our human life. We were blindfolded by various techniques, and we followed it, thinking we can enjoy our life, work like slaves. But on the way, suddenly we kick the bucket. No chance to enjoy. This is the fate of human beings. A man who is working day and night to become a multi-millionaire cannot satisfy. Then after accumulating so much, the way how he spent his life throughout his life, excitement, craving, anxiety, impatience, intolerance, all these things have done a lot of damage. Then suddenly the blood pressure goes up, high blood pressure, heart attack, a stroke, paralyzed, then bedridden for many years. That is the way how they enjoy. They have been working so much for that purpose. But those poor people in poor countries who never spend their time by thinking in that view, they get there enough food, they have a house or shelter to live, they can find out a simple clothing, and occasionally they too enjoy, organize some sort of entertainment. But this entertainment never aroused the animal nature of the human being. But to culture, in our ancient culture, there are various performances, entertainment, amusement, but there are no immoral practices. But in the modern entertainment, amusement, you can see what a wonderful development. We have abused our culture. Take for instance, people started to talk about some sort of new dance. I have never seen in my life. They say there is some sort of dance called break dance. Dance is also banned. In Malaysia it is banned. And I don't think, I thought it is very dangerous. I heard that at the neck, break the neck. One day, accidentally, when I was watching a television program, somebody told me, this is called break dance. And I knew this is not a new discovery. This dance was discovered by cats and dogs long ago. Because when their back is very itchy, they break down. This is the way how we are going to develop our culture. What a pity. Time is about 9:30. So he invited me to talk up to 9:30 and this is the stop.
Thank you, Venerable Sir, for a very interesting talk. It is at this very happy moment that you now have the golden opportunity to ask questions, to clear your doubts and your worries, because the Venerable is not often in Singapore with us, and he has come all the way from Kuala Lumpur. So questions from the floor, please. You know, if you miss this opportunity to ask questions, you may not be very peaceful and happy tonight. Yes, please.
Yes, Reverend. I've always wondered if there is a difference between rebirth and reincarnation. Thank you.
Which one do you prefer? No idea. But all these are words. Concept is the same. But slight difference when we analyze. Reincarnation, this word is used by Hindus because they believe the appearance here on this earth is incarnation or appearance again and again, influenced by the Creator Mahabrahma. This concept of Creator, discovered long, long ago, this is not a new discovery by all these existing religions. But they have used different names, that's all. That is the only difference. But the concept was very old. So, the Creator Mahabrahma creates the soul and allows this soul to transmigrate from life to life as reincarnate. So allow this soul to remain until it is completely purified. So they are going on polluting. The more they pollute, the more it remains on this earth. One day when it is completely purified, the Brahma, the Creator, absorbs the that is called union with Brahma. That is the final goal, like Nirvana. Therefore, they use the word reincarnate. The Buddhists use the word rebirth. That is also not very accurate. The Buddha has used the word in the Pali language, Punah Bhava, becoming again. There is difference between rebirth and becoming again. What is the difference? When you use the word rebirth, we develop some sort of idea in our mind that I will be either in the same form, with the same mentality, with the same complexion, or with the same ideas, again appear. This belief contradicts to the teachings of the Buddha. But when we use the word becoming again, the departed consciousness from the human mind, when absorbed into the existing cosmic energies and elements, another life will be originated. But in that life, there is a link with the previous birth. What is that link? That departed consciousness. In that consciousness, there are so many ingredients. Good karma, bad karma, cause and effect, attachment, inclination, mental tendencies, mental habits, certain characters as ingredients. But the formations of this life can become entirely different one. For instance, two-legged one can become four-legged one. This is the difference. When you use these two terms, reincarnation and rebirth. But the correct word from the Buddhist point of view is becoming again. Existence again takes place as long as craving for existence remains in the man.
The next question, please.
I would like to know what happiness means.
Very good. I'm very happy about that question. Because I could not explain actually in my thought. I remember when I was in London many years ago, I met some hippies. When I asked, why do you want to become hippie? They said, we are happy. So the happiness, we differ according to our needs, our state, our requirements. From the Buddhist point of view, pleasure is one thing, happiness is another. We cannot experience real happiness as long as fear, tension, insecurity, and responsibility prevail in the mind. So that mind must be free from these disturbances. That is the time we experience happiness. And emotional feeling, emotional satisfaction, we misinterpret as happiness early. So that is not real happiness. All these are emotional satisfaction. But inside or behind this emotional satisfaction, there is uncertainty or fear.
The next question, please. Yes, the gentleman over there.
At the beginning of the talk, you mentioned the interchangeability of Buddhism with religion. And then it mentioned that the mind is the start of all these ideas, evil, craving, not any supernatural being or God. And Buddha himself started off as man, not a supernatural body. Why then is Buddhism a religion? Isn't it more a philosophy, a way of life? Thank you.
Very good question. But very long. How to start this? I have to do another talk, to answer that question. I take the second part of the question. What is the definitions of religion according to the dictionary? Can you remember? If you want to depend on dictionary for this word religion, I think according to my knowledge, religion is a system of worshipping, praying to God. It's not developing some sort of link with the God or depend on God. That method is called religion. if I am not mistaken. So if we are going to use the same word religion for Buddhism, we misinterpret the teachings of the Buddha. Because the Buddha has not introduced that type of religion. For that, you can use any name. You can give any name. But that name is immaterial. That name cannot serve the purpose. What we need is a method. And that method is for us to practice and see whether it is true or not. Not to maintain as a belief or theory or myth. This he has mentioned. Paccattam veditappo vinyo. So each and every person individually can practice and understand and experience. No need to depend on Buddha. No need to depend on God. No need to depend on anybody. You better practice and see. For that, if you want to use the word religion, it's up to you. As a philosophy also, it is up to you. Way of life also up to you. Makes no difference to Buddhism. The Buddha did not speak English to use the word religion. And the word that he used is a very meaningful word. Dhamma or Dharma, Sanskrit and Pali. Dharma is a very meaningful word. He said, I am telling you the Dharma. Again he says, Dharma exists forever in this world, whether Buddha appear or not. He did not want to get the credit that he is the one who created Dharma. He said Dharma exists. But people cannot understand because the minds were clouded with illusion, delusion, hallucinations and all sorts of misconceptions. What is the meaning of this word? Dharma. Dharma means hold, support. This earth is called dharani in Sanskrit. Earth. Sanskrit word is dharani. Dharani means that which holds everything. So dharma means hold us without allowing to fall down, get into trouble. And without allowing to have another miserable life hereafter, if there is. Animal or ghost or spirit or any other miserable form, even within this lifetime also, to lead a respectable life. Again, this world is called wheel of existence, repeated birth and death, round and round and round. The Dharma support us to get rid of this wheel of existence, not to suffer forever like this. That method is called Dharma. So, why worry about this label, religion or philosophy or whatever it may be? Give a time.
Yes.
Venerable, I would like to ask you, in this samsara, why life is suffering? Is it we have to attain nirvana, then only we are free from this suffering?
As long as existence takes place with any form, either as human beings or devas or Brahma or any other living being, the sufferings exist. Why? Existence means combinations of elements and energies together as a bundle for a certain period. This is called existence. And amongst those ingredients, elements and energy, there will be a lot of friction, clashes, disagreement. Mind itself is a bundle of 4 kinds of energy. And these 4 kinds of mental faculties, friction takes place. In the body, 4 kinds of elements. These elements clash with each other. Then elements and mind clash. Mind and mind, elements and elements. The sufferings create because of this friction. Scientific analysis also the same. That is why well-known scientists are slowly approaching towards the Buddha because of this interpretation. The Buddha has never said that this is the original sin. Someone has done something long, long ago, you also must suffer because of that. So, he says, each and every person individually responsible for his own suffering. Others are not responsible for it. And good and bad karma you create individually. Your father or mother cannot create good karma or bad karma for you. Children cannot create bad karma or good karma for their parents individually. So suffering exists as long as existence takes place, it is natural. Not only our life. Take plant life. In that plant life, we cannot see mental faculties, consciousness. But all the other elements, certain energies, like process and cells, so many things are there. And this plant life also suffers. Not free from suffering, but feeling, sensation not like ours. Anything, this table, after many years' time we can see how decay starts. This table also suffers because of this existence. And who is responsible for that? Elements and energies that exist here remain as a bundle. Started to disintegrate, dissolve. This is the nature of existence. This is the fact. We cannot go against it. Then what is nirvana? Nirvana is not a place for you to go and play football. Or play mahjong. Nirvana. What is the meaning of this word? Nir means no. Vana means free. No need to wait until you die. The very moment when you withdraw your craving, you are in nirvana. No need to wait until you die. People create their own imagination because others talk about heaven and paradise, how angels and beautiful girls come and entertain them and what you call embrace them. People say, oh, very nice, wonderful, why don't we go there? And it is eternal. And we create heaven and hell according to our needs. It is true. Primitive people had their own concept about heaven and hell. When you study the human history in the Middle East, before these religions come into existence, the way how they have introduced heaven, they say, in heaven, there's a crystal pure waterfall every day pouring. Because in the Middle East, they have not seen waterfalls in their life. and no proper rain also. To them that is heaven. Red Indians who have hard life for their living, every day they have to go out for hunting animals, very difficult to catch animals. They see, in heaven, there's a very good hunting ground full of animals. To them that is heaven. Tibetans, when they talk about heaven, the climate there in that country, the cold climate, we cannot tolerate. Even during the summer also we cannot tolerate. They see, the sufferings in hell is worse than the winter in Himalaya during that period. Worse. Everything is covered by snow. That is hell today. And this is the way how we introduce heaven and hell according to our need, our satisfaction. Now today, when we ask ladies, actually what do you like to have in heaven? If anybody says in heaven, there are a lot of diamonds and gold and jewelry and beautiful fashions and dress. Oh, wonderful. Real heaven. When we talk about heaven to small children, we introduce. You go to heaven, you can have nice ice cream, chocolate every day. Oh, wonderful. This is the way how people try to introduce religion. Create some sort of temptation in the man's mind according to the needs of the man. Never reveal the truth.